Good afternoon and welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Sports on the APL, which is the Antigua Parish League Network. I am your host, Marvelous M.R. Richards, and I'd like to let you know that we're also on Facebook, ACB Caribbean at Antigua Parish League, on YouTube at Antigua Parish League, and Instagram at Antigua Parish League. And we're also coming to you live on Channel 8 on cable television, that is CTV. I am your host, as I said, Marvelous M.R. Richards, and today we'll be talking about volleyball. And I've got three very important and interesting persons who are part of that historic moment not too long ago in the studio with me. But before I introduce them to you, I'd like to let you know that ACB Caribbean is our platinum sponsor, and they have made Talking Sport and also Talking Parish League what it is today. They have been in banking for over 64 years here in Antigua and Barbuda, and also they have been sponsoring Parish League cricket for over 44 years. So we suggest, with that background and that experience, we suggest that you, for all your financial and banking needs, you need to check them out. They're situated at the corner of Thames and St. Mary Street right here in St. John's. ACB Caribbean, our platinum sponsor, simply smarter banking. Also Blue Mountain Water, known as the greatest tasting water and also the purest. And I'm pretty sure with that victory that the Antigua team had the other night there at the volleyball headquarters there, I'm pretty sure that they had some Blue Mountain Water. But we'll get to that when we start to talk with them. And of course the distributors for Blue Mountain Water is none other than Mega Distributors, and they're situated on the American Road. Also Cecil Charles Group of Companies, Seiko Pharmacy, for all your medical needs. And their experienced pharmacist is always dedicated and willing to serving the needs of their customers. They are also situated on High Street. Also Hutchison Limited. They are the agents for Pine Hill Juices, and we say whatever your fruity flavor is, it's easy to sip and smile with Pine Hill Juice, and you can get that, as I said, at Hutchison, and they are situated on the Factory Road. Also plumbing and electrical for great service and good deals. Everything plumbing and electrical, and they are situated on the Potter's Main Road. Also brands for less, and of course the name says it all. This is where you get quality branded products for less prices, and they cater for men, women and children, and they are also situated on High Street. We're asking you to simply share and to like as this particular program. And now it gives me great pleasure for me to introduce to you, as you know, just recently the Antigua men's volleyball team captured the Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Championship. And they did it coming from behind. And I've got with me in the studio the coach, who is none other than Fitzroy Benjamin. Also we have Adrian Constant, who is the captain and also was the MVP of that tournament, and also Kyron Davis, who was also a valuable player in that tournament. Welcome guys, welcome to Talking Sports.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Good afternoon.
Great. Now the first question I want to throw it at the coach, because I want to know what was the preparation like going into this tournament.
Preparation was like we had a league after the resumption of volleyball after COVID, which ran for about 6 weeks. And then after that, Olsen had the guys them in training for about a month going into this tournament. And I think the league was a big factor to prepare them game-like situation for the tournament.
But what was different, you would say, that made the difference this time around?
This time around it was a bunch of guys who did not want to be the coach. They just wanted to be players and guided by the coaching staff. And that was basically it, because on paper it wasn't one of our strongest team we had. going into
He
the
wasn't?
tournament. No.
Oh.
We had stronger team than that before, but he never got the job done. And that's because I think that we didn't have enough ball to distribute among the players.
Okay.
But with this group of guys now, it was one ball and we managed to get it share.
Wow. Now, did the players stay together somewhere? I mean,
Yeah,
were they together? Where did you
they
stay?
all stayed at Anchorage Inn
Okay.
from the day before the tournament started. They were all grouped together at Anchorage Inn, which was very good because they were wandering around the place. They're young guys. Some of them will get loose and be walking around the place really, but it was good that they all were put up at Anchorage Inn.
Now let me ask Adrian a question. You were the MVP of the tournament. How long have you been playing volleyball?
It's like age 5.
Age 5?
Just about.
Wow.
Also, one of the persons that I started with. 'Cause my mom used to play, my father used to try to play. Used to play, I guess. But, and my village is known for a lot of sports. Also, is known for a lot of sports.
I know that.
And I used to always sneak over from the football field over to the basketball, to the netball court, and play netball and volleyball. So, those are the young.
You didn't play at school, did you? Did you play volleyball at school?
As in university.
No. Well,
High school.
at high school. Yeah.
Well, I went to Seventh-day Adventist, so what
Okay.
had to happen was Miss Lewis would you take us from and put us on different teams every year. So I didn't have any set team I played for, but I played with teams in school. Like Otters, I played with Garden School 1 year, and State College.
So you went to grammar school?
No.
Oh, boy, I was just about to jump up in the air, you know. I was saying, you know, that's where greatness comes from, you know. Yeah.
Until PM took
Now,
over.
Kyron, how about you? How long have you been playing?
I was 8 years. Started playing when I was in second form, I think, third form.
Okay.
That
At
was
what school?
PM.
Okay.
So
Mr. Green had you, huh?
yeah, it was Mr. Green and yeah, Olsen that came to PM and saw interest and the potential, so kind of pulled me in.
How tall are you?
Between 6'6", 6'7", like right between.
Why volleyball? Weren't you attracted to the basketball court? Or you play basketball too?
I don't know. I would say that volleyball is like where I gel. It's basically like a safe space for me. I tried playing basketball and it wasn't it. Then I got more pulled into the volleyball. And I guess it's just like even the people around me just made me feel comfortable in just that area. So.
And coach, were these guys coachable? When I say,
Yeah, they're all.
they didn't give you any trouble?
No. That's why I
I
said.
see Adrian Island went up, you say,
No,
you expect to see your nose,
we didn't
your
have
nose come up.
any. Well, I coach in the league. I coach two-man team and a female team, and those were a headache really, because those are less experienced players and they give the most trouble. Like they want to tell you as a coach what to do. But with this group of guys, I didn't experience that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. For some reason, it's not the culture of us in Antigua is playing sports that players don't want to question you really, but it happened in this group. And within the same year of the league, like within that 3 months period, I can tell you this group of guys, I never went through that situation where they had to be questioning anything. Yeah,
So tell me, what is volleyball like in Antigua? I mean, there's a vibrant league, and
it is a vibrant league. We get more spectators on the female side. Surprisingly, yes, we did get a lot of spectators on this male game. But if we happen to host a female game right now, I don't think we have enough seating capacity to host them in Antigua.
I'm going to ask Adrian, why do you think that is?
The reason why I say that too is because we have a lot of the Hispanic support too. Because I coach a female team that you have a lot of Hispanic players on it.
Mm.
And if it's one thing, those people support their own a lot.
Okay, that's good.
So
That's
they
good.
fold the pack.
Mm. And I think you have a president too. One of the longest serving president, I think, anywhere in the history of
Yeah.
any sporting association or organization.
A good president. A very good president. It's just Saturday I gave him back a suitcase. He was overseas, he brought a suitcase back to me. This was uniforms and
Wow.
trophies that he brought back into Antigua for the association.
Wow,
I would
wow.
just make a phone call to him and whatever I need I will get.
Mhm.
So that's good.
How do you prepare, guys? How do you prepare, like for a tournament like this? When I say prepare mentally,
I went to school in the States, so I started watching a lot of film there. I used to watch film before going to school, but school showed me a different way to watch film. So I would watch a lot of film, even if we played, because the last tournament we played was 2018, and I tried to go back on Facebook to dig up those films, see what players could have done, what their strengths were, and I expected them to come back with the same strengths, and I would expect them to better some of their weaknesses. I also try to put myself in the frame of mind to understand that I'm the only person that really stops myself. So I try to focus on doing the right things, but staying consistent. As I know once I'm consistent, the sky's the limit. I don't have to be 10 out of 10, I don't have to be 11 out of 10. I just need to be consistent 8, 9, and then the 10 game will come, and understand that if the bad game happens, I don't stress over it because it's just the next game, just the next point, just the next set. So that's how I prepare mentally. Physically is a whole different ball game. I mean, I work out at least 4 times a day, minimum. Wake up at 4 a.m. After working out at 10, I'll try to get in the lift. And then before I come to practice, I'll try to get in the lift. And then I train with the team. So that's how I try to work out. That's how I prepare myself physically too.
so you were away at school on a volleyball scholarship, or
Yes, I was on a
fine?
volleyball
So
scholarship.
this habit was something that you kind of you got while you were away at school.
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
Because I lived on campus. I could have opted to live off campus for cheaper rates, but when coach said to me, hey, if you live on campus, you have the gym, you have the court, I was like, hey, let's do it. So I decided to live on campus.
Fantastic. Karen, what about you? Are you looking for a scholarship, or you also on a scholarship?
Oh no, I'm actually just trying to better myself so I can play professional volleyball. So that's the road right now for me, just to get better and see what's out there for me.
So when you say play professional, where is it that you would, you see yourself where you would want to be?
Where do I see
Playing, yeah, playing.
I've been asking around for. They have like Holland.
Holland, yeah,
I think it's Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah, and Adrian also was talking to me about Korea. So just trying to see where the options is and where I can, place myself into getting there and playing professional. But I have a lot of work to do. So right now I'm just focusing on building myself.
When you say building yourself, you get yourself some more body.
Yeah, get myself some more body and work on the techniques.
By the way, what's the position that you guys play?
I play outside, attacker, and I'm a middle blocker as well.
You, Adrian?
I'm generally an opposite, but in school I was used as an outside, but we don't have the problem of not having an outside in Antigua, so I can play my true position when I'm home. So I play outside and opposite.
You guys play any other sport? Any other?
I think
Or just volleyball? That's your love.
I think that's my love.
Because I see you in Manchester.
That's my love.
I see you in
But,
Manchester United jersey.
if anyone knows my father, not only my father, but tradition in the village is we don't kids tend to know we don't play one sport in all sense. Everybody can play because you have Burton, these guys, they play softball and they always let us play windball with them. Then you have Vinci, the netballers, they always call us to play netball. So I played all those sports. When I went to school, I kind of got into golf because the girl I was dating was a golfer at school. But it's not my forte because it's not something I really enjoy. I enjoy watching it, but it's not something I really enjoy playing. It's very frustrating. I'm looking to get into tennis though, slowly as recreational activity.
You think that tennis should sort of relax you, that kind of way? Or?
Actually, no, but Michael Freeland, I am out to beat him at everything I'm going to beat him at for the rest of the year. So he has started. It seems like tennis is the next option. I'm also out for Sharif as well, Sergeant. So tennis is his sport, so I'm coming to tennis for him.
But tell me something, we played against St. Lucia in the finals, right? And I was made to understand that they probably, they have a couple of professional players.
Yes.
How many?
In that team, they had 3 players that were contracted, but 1 is currently on contract in Portugal.
Okay.
But they have 3 players that would have been played pro before.
Oh, wow. I think you guys did remarkably well, boy. I tell you, 2 down.
To be honest, I mean,
Down 2. Now, it's throw me back to the, like to the NBA finals, and but the beauty about it that we were playing home. We were playing in front of your home crowd. Now you're down 2-0, right? What was that feeling? When you going into the 3rd game. What was anyone you can answer? Because I know the coach probably had a lot to say then.
The feeling was, I just knew I was playing bad. And I started to do something that I really didn't do all season, all tournament. For 3 years, I started to complain about the sets. And Setter said to me, you ain't complaining all year. Just do what you have to do. Focus on the goal. Like, stick to the game plan. I mean, St. Lucia scouted, you can see that. So they tried to stop the game plan, but I mean, in the 3rd set, the setter really made. I would say the setter is the one that made me look good because I didn't have to move the ball in the 3rd set because he was putting the ball in the spots to counter St. Lucia. But going into the 3rd set, we just knew that we're not playing our best. It's not that they're beating us. I'm not sure what Kyron was thinking, but personally, if I got 10 balls in the first 2 sets, I probably only scored once. So that was, and it wasn't score and then just neutral plays. It was scoring or errors. So I was giving away points, and we only lost both sets by 2. Just like, all right, we straight, we all right, we'll get there.
Well, I know, Kyron, you came on. I mean, Adrian spoke a lot in his little interview on the local television station, and he mentioned you, that you played a very, very important part. What was it feeling like to know that you contributed and also share, I suppose, a bit of the MVP by Adrian?
For me, during the 3rd set, I knew that we weren't going to lose, but I was more depending on Adrian and another player, Jamari James, to score the points because I was injured and I didn't want to play so hard knowing I was on injury, but then realizing that it's either win this set or we go home. I had to just put that fear away, and I think that kind of brought out the other side of me in winning the game. So my main focus was just, Kyron, every time they set the ball over there, move and block. Move, block the ball. That was my main focus. It was just to block the ball and contribute in defense, because I know Adrian has the offense. So going through the 3rd set, we won. Then the 4th set, I was a bit nervous, but then I realized Adrian came back. I was contributing in the blocks. everybody was doing what they had to. So I was like, all right, guys, we got this. Then I realized game was a bit tight in the fourth set. You know, I started panicking, but then when I realized no need to panic, my team got this, and we won the fourth set. That's when I look at them, I was just like, yeah, this game done.
Game.
This game
Never
done.
went into the fifth set with any doubt. No doubt at all.
Coach, you say that the service made a difference. They were consistent with the service.
Yeah, because in the first two sets, we made a lot of errors. It was our game to win from the start, but we did make a lot of errors. Adrian got some hit ball in the block. I would say get some block. And we had too many serving errors. And in the third set, he stopped serving the jump serve, but mainly a floating serve. And Jamari did get some of his jump serve in. And it wasn't a doubt that we couldn't beat St. Lucia. It wasn't a doubt. It wasn't any doubt whatsoever. I didn't have that fear inside of me. It's just that we were just making, they played their game, or we were making too many unforced errors on our part. But as long as we corrected those unforced errors, the game was
Now,
ours.
Karen, you mentioned something about being nervous, right? There's nothing wrong really with being nervous. You know, it's wanting to do well, that kind of way. You know, not that you didn't have any faith in the skills, but it's just that you wanted not to make a mistake, and you know, and that's quite all you know, that's okay. You know, but I hope that is the fear that you were talking about.
Yeah, because in volleyball, right? Sometimes you have where you're going good, like you're getting points, and then you make one mistake, and that one mistake can, you know, cause the team momentum to drop.
Okay.
So in that way, knowing that the game was tight, I didn't want to make a mistake because the other team was playing hard, and we weren't in the game as yet, because I guess because it was the finals, we all had a little bit of nervousness in us. So in my head I was like, Karen, can't make this mistake, make sure you do this. And in the first two sets I was making a lot of errors because how I felt, but in the third set it went away, because this was a big game for us. This was us actually making history if you win. So all that was like a goal in my head. And I also did tell my mom before I left home that this tournament that I'm playing, I want to win this tournament just for her. So I knew that she was home and she was panicking because we lost. We did lose a game, and that game she was panicking because she didn't want us to lose. So I told myself I'm not going to make that same mistake again for the finals, because then, you know, that would cause if she was just panicking for one of those regular games. So that game was actually for her as well. So
Fantastic.
I feel good.
Good thing to play for. I wanna pull you up on a little thing there, because when I heard the national anthem played, right, I've got to say it, because our national anthem is not one verse. If it's played, if it's musical, you can play one verse because the second verse is the same as musically.
What did you sing it?
But that second verse, I mean, without you guys hearing it, you know, raise the standard, raise it boldly. That is a very, very important part of our national anthem that we fail to sing. You know, answer no to duty's call. I'm now looking back at the victory, and I'm saying these guys must have been, saying that part of the national anthem inside their heart, that they had to raise the standard and to raise it boldly and answer no to duty, to the service of your country, sparing nothing and giving all, right? But when you had that final point, how was the feeling? I want everybody's feeling. How was that feeling? And knowing that it's historical, and coming from 2 games down, that everything had to be right in the third game, What was that feeling like? At the
It
start
was
of
a
the career?
chaos.
Okay.
It was a great feeling for me,
Yeah.
actually, because when you look at the different countries that came here, they came with all these big international coaches that passed through Antigua before, Sabatini and Dunn, and then I think it's had a
No.
US
Tell me who are some of these? Well, you call some names, but tell me who the teams are there with.
Sabatini was with St. Lucia.
Okay.
He's out of Argentina.
He's out of Argentina.
Gillen.
And Dan is from
Romania.
Romania,
Yes.
right? And then you had a US coach, I don't know his name really, but he was from Sinkit's team. And when you had those coaches there, and Sabatini was on the bench and watching them when they were going down to us, it feels very good that, they give them work to do. Because they passed through Antigua. They when they came in, they had some problem at the rooms and so forth. They criticized certain things, and it gives me pleasure to know that we could rise and beat them and these are things.
But did anyone of those coaches had a talk with anyone of you guys?
Oh yes. I mean, I did not know that Dan was a coach. I did not know that he was coaching St. Vincent, because the Vincentian guys are of all the teams. These guys are my personal friends. When I go to St. Vincent, I'll stay with them because we all came through the same youth tournaments. But I knew Sabatini was coaching St. Lucia. We had a few talks about beach volleyball probably before the tournament. When I saw him there, I tried to not talk to them. Let me be honest. I maybe said first day, that's the most talking I'll do to them. Hey, you good? You need anything? I can help you out. If I can't help you out, I don't know. But then as the tournament starts, I pass them straight. I don't. Hey, I really keep myself locked in. I almost don't even try to talk to my mom, and she's in the stadium. But the feeling was good. It was because we scored like 14-6, 14. We lost a few points down the line, but I knew there's no chance that they would beat us, because push comes to shove, we're going over on 2, 1, 3, whatever. We're getting that last point. I mean, the coach panicked a bit, called a timeout.
It was a panic.
Okay, he didn't panic. But he called a timeout, and I looked at Olsen and I was like, what the timeout for? We went back on, and he set me, scored. When I scored, it was, whoa. Like, I didn't know what to do. I remember the last time when we won the youth tournament, in the middle of the play, we're like, when we win, we're going to sprint towards the trainer. This time, I just didn't know what to do, but to just go flat on the floor.
Well, what about you, Karen?
For me, when it was the last point, it was 14-10, and I saw Carrot set Adrian. It wasn't one of the best sets for him to kill spike the ball, but when I see that he played it and the defender couldn't pick it up, I already had like water coming to my eyes, like we really won this tournament. And then knowing that we had a lot of people didn't have any faith in us in this tournament, like they always doubt the team, oh, this is the weakest team, they're gonna lose. We actually shut them up, and that was the best feeling ever.
That's true.
That was the best feeling ever. And I honestly didn't know how to contain myself, because we were just all over the place. Emotions were just high, and I don't know. Everything was just blocked out. There's just like, we just won this tournament.
Is this the greatest accomplishment in volleyball for you guys? I mean, I know you go to school in the States, and you might have played volleyball tournaments or so against other schools and so in the States, but this one is you think is the highest achievement that you have
For me,
in basketball, volleyball?
I put it really close. It's like it's a really tight race between this championship and the time I was selected as an All-American,
Okay.
and it was the first All-American for my school. I was the first All-American for that specific coach, and she's been coaching for 30 years. But the reason that I think this tournament felt better, it was because it was in the moment. I was home, I was wearing my flag. I've always dreamed, ever since watching Olsen and them raising their flags, winning, I've always dreamed of, when I win and we have the flag, I can't wait to run with the flag. I can't wait to run around with the flag. Because when I got the All-American news, it was after the COVID year. So I was back in Antigua, and then she sent me a long text message. So I mean, felt really good. But with this one, it was just like right here, right there. Even when the awards were given out, I was still, I'm really the MVP. I'm really the best opposite. Did Antigua really win? Like, I still, even today, my little brother, who was very, I think we should get him a mascot jersey. 'Cause, I mean, he was like, when y'all were down 2-0, I was outside with Carrot's son, and we were playing volleyball. I remember looking, he said, when I looked in and seen y'all were down 2-0, I was like, dawg, let me go inside. And he came inside, and you believe it, I felt him because he was running all over cheering. And I was like, I still can't believe we won.
Wow. So now I know Rosie Simon, she was the assistant coach.
Yeah.
How is that?
Actually, Carrot is the one that coached the team leading up to the tournament.
Okay.
Actually, I never wanted to be a part of the coaching staff because while hosting a tournament in Antigua, the president usually calling me for just about everything. So I didn't want to harass myself, and it was harassing, very much harassing. So Carrot was the one that was supposed to be the coach. Then after Mr. Harrigan called him from Canada, he was in Canada at the time when the team was training, and tell him, no, Carrot, you can't be the coach, you have to go on set because of your experience. We don't have that amount of experience to take the team to that level. And he was a little reluctant in doing it, but after he called me and told me that I'll have to come on the bench, so he'd have to put my name down as a coach. And here's where I just fall into place. I was at the facility just about every night, preparing for the tournament. So seeing the practice and everything, I know the players. And that's where Rosie and myself took over and let him play.
Well, how was the team selected? When I say this, I know there's a few coaches within the ministry, right? Not very many, but it's out to the school system that
No, from the league.
from the league.
From the
And
local league.
how many teams are in the league?
We had 6 male teams and 6 female teams.
Tell me where they're from. I mean, the areas.
We had Stoneville from All Saints. Most of them are central in town. They all come to town and practice still, not because they're from the different communities. You have Paragons, the squad, all in practice at YMCA still, you have Jets. That's okay. Let me give you the female team: Paragons, Squad, Stars, Jets, and Stoneville. But Jets had Stars had 2 teams, so that is a 6. When you had Stoneville, Enforcers, Renegade, Sharks, the Storming Lions, and one missing who's
High Flyers.
High Flyers, and High Flyers, yeah. So the teams are basically selected from there. From those players.
Now tell me, what do you think this victory, or this win, what do you think it will do for volleyball?
It's big for volleyball because this is one of the reasons we're here on this program here today too. And it's just like all the media houses, we are on them.
Want you guys, right?
Yeah. It's yesterday Rosie sent me this message to be here for 5 o'clock this afternoon. Usually Monday afternoon I leave work, I go home and get some rest. Gotta be here. And right now with this win also, the girls are eager to train for their tournament coming up in October. And
Is it the same tournament, Eastern Caribbean
Yeah.
Women now?
Yeah, it's going to be the same tournament. You're going to have Adventist League starting in the next month, and it's just this afternoon too. I get a call. They want to use the facility to train. The girls are going down this evening. They're going to start their practice, but we haven't selected the team as yet. So we need more court because the one court cannot share. And it's a big point too. You were from Overs really, but we need you to get the church back into the building. We need you to get the church back into the building off of the court at Overs. Allow us to put a floor on it,
Yeah.
and we could share the court for volleyball. We already have a surface to put on it.
Okay, fantastic. I was about to ask also that I know that, well, I know in the past that you used to play volleyball on a grass area.
Grass, yeah.
That's
That changed since 2009 when we started the facility over in 2005. Finished it in 2009 where we hosted the first leg of our World Qualifiers where we won, and then we went on to Trinidad. So it's not that we're not doing well in volleyball, it's just that we want to go to the next level, but to go to the next level is going to require some funds to do that, because you cannot have the guys them going to work and then coming to training for 2 hours. Even if you bring in an international coach, that international coach is not going to be able to spend enough time with them because they got to work.
right.
And they're going to be drained. They cannot give you more than 2-3 hours a night to get up the next morning to go to work. So it's a situation where it's either we get funding so that they can get a stipend or a salary, and we can have them train 3-4 times a day. And that will take them to the next level.
I think it's going to be difficult for an outside coach to come in as a professional, because they're accustomed to a professional setup where they have access to the players
Throughout the day.
throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
But
Not possible.
so
Yeah.
what's the next level? What is the next level?
Well, by winning this leg, we're going to move on to Canada, which is going to be next year for the next Nausicaa leg. And the female too will move on. If they win, they will move on to the USA for the next Nausicaa leg.
Well, I know there was there was some things that was said about sometimes the accommodation. I know you also in the executive, really, right? But was it something that the government was aware of, that the tournament was going to be held here?
Yeah.
Like the Ministry of Sports?
We usually apply to them for tax waiver, accommodations and so forth. And it's not that the government usually give us an input for offsetting any expense, really. It's just a waiver of taxes and these other things they will give us. But normally we will go and seek accommodation. But what happened is that we usually use Anchorage to accommodate the teams. But this year we had 9 teams, which was a lot.
Right.
So because of that, and not only that, Anchorage Inn, the new wing of Anchorage Inn is being used by government, the Ministry of Public Works, for some Cubans and some Venezuelans who are here doing the work for the government.
That's right.
So we did not get, and some of the people from Downville, I think, are living there full time. So we did not get all the rooms that normally been allotted to us. So we had to seek rooms elsewhere. And Bargain Center was one that, it's in my community, and I passed through there one day, I saw them doing some work there, and realized that the rooms were there, definitely spacious. That one of the rooms there could sleep 7 persons.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So when we went there was some situation with some tile and so forth, and it was just for them to clean up, because that structure was put in place since 2007 and wasn't used since the World Cup cricket. So I invited Mr. Harrigan to look at the place. We looked at it with some little minor works to do around the place. We realized that we could get rooms there, right? But I think that these things were blown out of proportion, that they're saying that the rooms are run down and so. These rooms are in more better condition. I won't say 100%, but it's under use. So the paints are not there from originally, they're still fresh. It's a clean property still because it was never used. It was just built and there. And these are things. I'm in the hospitality industry, and I would not be just looking at somebody and just take them anywhere like that.
Right.
We even had the same situation because the building was closed. The tiles coming off the wall in the bathroom itself, just the bathroom, certain areas in the bathroom. We had that situation where during COVID, we tiled our dressing room, and before the tournament, we had to take off the tiles because they were coming off. I don't know if it's because of the material they sell or whatever, how it was done, but the tiles were coming off, and we had to take them off, right? But I think there were some gripes by the Grenadians. It wasn't all the teams that had problems, and I think because they were the first team that went to that facility, you know, and they were settled. But what happened? They put their bags in 3 of the rooms and left that room door open, and then the Angolan team went there and went and occupied that room that could hold 7, because they had 19 people and Angola had 15, right? And there's where it started. After they came back and realized Angola was in their room, that's where they started complaining about everything, you know. And anyway, it was settled. They got accommodation at Fidges Creek. We paid for it. Tournament went on, and we even invited the president of ECVA to work at the facility. He didn't find all that complaint that they were talking about. They literally moved the mattress out of the room and put them out in the hallway to have the place looking like that. They took the couch, put it in the road. I had to tell them, no, you can't disrespect the man place like that. You had to put back the stuff, even put it on the veranda also, but not out in the street. I was wondering if there were people with the Miles Bishop movement that they were ready for a rebellion. Situation. No, it's serious. 4 of them actually walked from there to YMCA, and 2 of the ladies who were there, Nayot and Nihima, took them to their home to sleep the night. You know, everybody, not to say that things did not flow smooth at the beginning, but we managed to iron out just about everything. We have been to places, well, the last time they went 2018 to Grenada, a facility that the Chinese them have at Crabs. It was a facility like that they were accommodated in. But they never complained because they're there to play volleyball.
That's right.
They were not on honeymoon, they went to play volleyball. I've experienced back in the 80s, 90s when I'm playing the national team. We go to St. Lucia, stayed up on the hill, Caribbees, no water running. It's a plastic tank and the pressure, no pressure, no cold water, you get it to wash your skin. You don't get that in Antigua.
Right. But you know, there's something that we had established well when I was there in the Ministry of Sports, really, and we had come to the conclusion, and we had made a decision that any sporting organization, when they go to these regional meetings or forum, right, and then there is this opportunity to host a tournament, that at least they talk, first of all, you know, like I have a dialogue with the Ministry of Sports to say, look, when we go to this meeting here, there's a possibility that we may, you know, we can probably bid for to host a tournament. Is it okay for us to do so? But you would have already had all the plans, how much it's going to cost. You're going to need transportation. We may need some assistance with accommodation, right, and with meals or whatever it is. As you mentioned a little earlier, the waiver and so of taxes and stuff like that, right? So once you get the go-ahead from the ministry, they are prepared. Because you see, in the past, what has happened is that when these people go to tournaments, like the Netball Association, they say, yes, we can host it. You know, they tell the people they can host it. And then when they already committed themselves, they come back now to government and say, we're going to host, we're supposed to host the netball. and then the court is not properly fixed or something like that. I mean, it's okay with you
Yeah,
because you have your own facility.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, but I think if it's done like this way, that we'll be able to eliminate some of these problems that we have, because they would have known in advance that we're going to host, and this is what required from them. This is what we're going to need from you.
But
To make sure.
the Grenadian team itself, a lot of people don't know, you know. But Grenada came here without their national flag for this tournament. They also came without any uniform whatsoever. The
Yeah.
president had to
They weren't
get,
prepared then.
the president had a set of green shirts and a set of white t-shirts that he took to this guy, Engineers Courtney, on the morning when the tournament started to get printed with numbers and flags for them. And we borrowed the flag from the Ministry of Finance and Foreign Affairs to them. I don't
So
think
you
they
guys
really-
went out
so
to
that's
ways to
what
make
we
sure
went-
that everything was all right with
yeah,
them.
with them, yeah. But it was that they complaining. They knew from the onset that 2 persons should be on a bed, a double bed, not a single bed, a double bed. And when they came, it's like the guys were saying, "Oh, me didn't sleep, the clothes on," and so I tell them, "What is? It's not tournament you come. You're not on honeymoon." And these sort of things. So I think they had a mindset that it's not a tournament they came for. Yeah, so that's why I'm not saying they didn't have anything to complain about, but it's how they deal with it. Because you can come and you have a problem, you come to us, we start to resolve everything. But it's just that how they went out and put it out to the public and these sort of things. They still have a bill balance outstanding to us too, you know, although we had to pay for extra accommodation for them.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
in the
that's,
past.
No, from this same tournament.
This tournament. Okay. What was that bill?
What happened, you usually make a contribution of just $1,000 to bring 12 players to the tournament, right? That will help offset health,
So, yeah.
transportation, lodging, food, and everything. But they came with a contingent of 19. That's
Whoa.
almost that's a team and a half plus, right? Spectators they came with. Plus we had to transport them, feed them. So that what carried up. They had to contribute more. We can't take 19 people just like that to be transporting, feeding, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And these are things.
Isn't there any bad blood now between Antigua and Grenada?
No,
In that
really,
regard.
it was done in the court. They got 3-0. They got 3-0.
I like that.
No bad
I
blood.
like that.
No bad blood, man.
So guys, you guys are gonna get some rest, right? And when do you start your training again? And what's next?
I'm a beach player as well, so there's a beach tournament coming up. So I am currently still training, waiting on the coach has said that we will start training probably at the end of the week, next week. But personally, I've been training. I'm trying to change my body and get physically stronger, get ready for the tournament.
Okay. But tell me something. Do you think this at the beach? Sorry. Do you think that the beach tournament or beach volleyball is going to take off big here? You think, or what? What you think?
I actually think it has from the Olympic qualifiers that I've been a part of in 2015 and 2016. It was a good turnout where we had a lot of people. We had castaways, we had a lot of tourists, and a lot of locals come out and support us. And it's easier. Beach volleyball is generally easier to take part in because, as opposed to needing probably 20 to do well indoors, you just need maybe 4, 5, 6 guys to train again amongst each other on the beach. So I'm looking forward to that.
No, but tell me something. How you think it can get bigger? You know, like I've seen in other places. You know that the beach.
I mean,
volleyball, and there's a lot of people watching and stuff like that?
So from the marketing standpoint, because I did study marketing, I mean, sponsors are always the first way, because no matter how much ideas you have on paper, no matter how much ideas you have in your head, without sponsors, the most you can do is share on Facebook, or the most you can do is call someone and tell someone, throw out some flyers. But with a sponsor, you can use the sponsor's marketing avenue, and that can help you. The sponsor can also contribute to a bigger tournament, because yes, the association may be able to pull off a beach volleyball tournament, but it's likely to be for maybe $500, or it's likely to be a cheaper price as opposed to, let's say, one of these sponsors like the Pine Hills or the Digicels or the iNets, the Flows of the world. Let's say any of these guys do a sponsor, they may be able to give out $1,000 generally so with sponsors everything can go further. I also think player awareness, I mean, get your families out, train hard. There are a lot of beaches, you can set up courts, many different places, have some circuits, have some grassroots programs, and get awareness to it.
Karen, you play beach volleyball also?
I'm going to start. Tournament's supposed to be coming up next month.
You don't have to know how to swim, you know. It's
No. Yeah, but there's a tournament coming up in August, so I'm gonna start training when Olsen decides to call practice. So I'm just waiting.
Well, we're also joined by Olsen Joseph, of course. That's another I said name in volleyball in Antigua and Barbuda. Olsen, we want to welcome you to Talking Sports. You know these two guys. You've had some dealings with them. As a matter of fact, I was told that you were supposed to be the coach for the team. But what really happened there?
Well, nothing really happened, you know. I'm still a coach, but I just had to do a playing role in the meantime. So I just hand the mantle over to Ben with my instructions.
Hey! I like that. Well, apparently he followed instruction because he turned out to be successful. You're both player and coach, right?
Boy, I like the coaching part more. I'm over the hill now with playing, but I can still do a little thing, you know. So that's what make it work.
Well, you can say you were part of this historic.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. We did it in juniors, now it's good we done it in seniors again.
Right. Now, you, in all your years, this now you're talking about you're looking to get out now, out of the plane, and you were part of this historic moment, right? Would you say that's your crowning moment? That is this is for all the work that you've put into volleyball all these years?
Well, yeah, definitely, because at the end of the day, I had retired a few years now. So
how many times did you retire?
Seems like we did like Jordan just now. So I have retired like twice. And this will be my third retirement that I have to come back again. So and how would I go? But it's been a pleasure because finally, as Mr. Benjamin had mentioned earlier, you know, with a less team, we'd make history. You know, that goes to show, you know, as I love to tell the guys, you know, see the vision, live the dream. You know, that's simple. Stick with the program, it works.
Right. Well, guys, tell me something. You were on the junior team too when the guys won?
Yes, we were both on the team.
Yeah. So that's a good step up.
Yeah.
Huh?
Which year is that?
24. Well, he won twice juniors.
You won twice juniors.
Yeah, I won 2014, and he probably won 2014 with me, and maybe 2017, 18.
You guys play with the same team?
We used to.
Oh, yeah. And what is it when you face each other?
Well, I mean, me and Austin have bragging rights because, you know, Shaq with Kobe and Phil Jackson stayed together, and Shaq wandered away to Miami. Only difference is Shaq didn't win the championship when he left. But I mean, it's all love. Sometimes of course, you don't want to see your club team getting weaker, because I mean, when you lose a player of his caliber, you get weaker. But it's good to see that other players stepped up, and we didn't really lose much in terms of what we filled back the cup with. Like, you know, if you fill back the cup to 3 quarters, you really only lost quarter, although you threw out everything. And it's good to see him on the other side and competing against us. So there's no one can say, hey, he carried us, or no one can say we made him look good. So he can make his own name. He can I mean, because our team is a very historic team. We're known for winning. So sometimes people get caught in the you only win because you're playing for Stoneville, which is going to be that way for the next few years, because I don't think we're going to lose for a while. But hey, you can talk about that the next day.
Who's the champion now on the national level?
Club League, Stoneville.
Zoneville.
Hey, we haven't lost since.
How many years? How many championships you have?
Okay, how many championships we have? Stoneville has been winning championships since I started playing, and I told you I started playing at 5. Because personally, if I'm to count championships that I have with Stoneville, not counting the ones that I was just on the court because my father or they show up late, so I play, I probably have 6 personally, maybe 7. But this is like the 5th one in a row, and it's in 2014 he did say to us that we're probably going to lose this year, probably going to lose next year, but the year after no one will be able to win. They might beat us in games, but they won't win championships.
There you go. But tell me, Hudson, what is it that makes you get up? You're retired, you said a couple of times, right? What makes you get up again and want to get back on the volleyball court? What makes you want to do that?
Basically, it was a tough decision, because I was talking to my body and it was like, boy, you can't make it now.
Yeah?
But you still have to pull you. But it's just that the guys, basically, when I see the look on their faces, when they look like, even though you're 50%, you still could do a little better than, put in the effort, guide us there. We need the experience on the court for when we get frustrated and show certain things on the court. So it was basically for them. I have been there a lot, so we are it with accomplishments. We good. But for them, we make certain I'm there for them. That's basically it. I make certain them they can go further and show them skill to the world, basically. Once them listen accordingly. But I know they win and go listen some more.
Yeah, but tell me something now, guys. You talk about professional, right? What sort of, what was the remuneration? If you turn pro, what's it like? What's the contract like? Are you aware?
Well, I am.
If you play in Portugal or you play in Holland,
I am now signed to Bring It Promotions. Bring It that they are based in Long Beach, California, and I was looking at contracts. There was a Korean draft that I was a part of. 7 players get drafted out of 150.
oh wow, that's good.
I obviously didn't make the 7, but the rookie contracts were at the time $41,000 a month for 8 months per season. And Korea is not.
You could live with that, right?
Comfortably. And Korea is not one of the places that pay a high wage, high salary, but it's no tax. So that's where you slide. I think it's very lucrative, especially when you play in Europe and in Asia. Asia is where all the money is. Europe is where all the competition is.
Okay. But tell me something. You don't have to be in any particular height. When I say you don't have to be tall like Kyron, per se, to that a scout or a coach will look at and say, well, with his height, he doesn't have to know much about volleyball. So we can train him. Tell me, you don't have to be any particular height
Not necessarily.
But height helps.
It really helps because I've seen teams when I went to school where when they walk in the gym, everyone is to pass through the doors. And my team, we had 2 7-foot players who they could not get any playing time because they were relatively new, maybe 3 years into the game. They were good, bigger blocks, but her height helps because for Kyron to touch, let's say he's touching 10 feet, it's less effort for him to touch 10 feet than for me to touch the same 10 feet. So it definitely helps.
Yeah, but what about the jumping power? Jumping?
No, that's where it differs. I mean, I think I jump really high, but again, it's still. I still think me personally, if I could choose, be 6 foot as I am now, jump as high as I do, or be 6'6" and get the same reach, I probably would take 6'6" because it's a fast game, and for me to get to that height and then land, the game is already gone. But once you stay consistent, that's what my main agent told me, Mona. She told me, once I stay consistent, teams must.
Or because of height, do they put you in a special position? With blocking, I don't know. I see some guys like towers, come up to the net just to block. Or they have, for example, there was a binge at one time, San Calypso. He was Ruben, and he's this short, and he sang a Calypso one time to say that they're tall guys that's shorter than him. They're short of common sense, and short of intelligence, and so right, or they're short of maybe jumping power, right? But as a coach also, how can I know that is not something that you can train somebody to jump, but do they have drills that you use, to get the best out of someone jumping
Well,
ability?
yeah, we have the boxes that we have them jumping, and we have some agility drills, left and right movements, lateral movements, and stuff like that to activate certain muscles in you, so you could get that quick response. So that's all part of getting them up, jumping more.
Well, what about some weight on the legs? Put some weight on the legs and put them in a hole and tell them to jump, like in the karate movies and stuff.
Well, I like to let them work with their body weight. That's for me. Some people use weights, that's fine, but I like to let them use their body weights. I don't like to put too much strain on their body, because as we say, going to work the next day, you can't recover to do work. So it's easier to work with your body weight, and you could recover to do the work than to put it on and then tomorrow you can't wake up. So I like body weight workout.
Tell me something. At the end of a game, do you have a monsieur, some a physiotherapist, someone that in this particular tournament? Did you have that?
Yes, we did.
We had one, but in our case, my own was like special.
Tell us how special, John.
Because
tell us how special.
Before like the tournament, I sprained my ankle, and then during the tournament, the first game, I sprained the other one. So
you balance out there.
Yeah, so I had like a special treatment other than the others, but they did a wonderful job because coming off of games, playing night, and then coming to play morning, it was a bit tiring, and then you have to play hard in every game, so they helped us out a lot.
So you guys played every night?
Yeah, we played every night.
Did you get a recovery period like
from our first game? We played every night until the Friday. We played Friday night,
and
Saturday morning, Saturday night.
and then we rest a bit.
Well, how do you get that? How do you
But
get those movements?
it's very traditional. Like, we're accustomed to it from volleyball, from
Okay.
ECVA tournaments. We're accustomed to it. 'Cause I mean, when I was in school, there were times that we'd play Friday night because our conference games on Friday nights, and then we play Saturday morning, maybe 11, and my teammates would be like, "Yo, this is crazy." I'm like, "Yo, bro, you don't even know." There were times that we played in school Friday night, Saturday morning at 11, Saturday afternoon at 1, back-to-back games, and my teammates were like, "Yo, this is torture." I'm like, "Yo, bro, in the Caribbean, we get off the plane on Friday, play on Friday night, and you bet your mark, you better hope that you're playing against the home team the next day, because if you're not, you're playing first game Friday morning."
Okay.
Just
But how's your injury now, Karen?
A bit pain here and there, just kind of how I walk. But
Well, have you seen someone like,
a doctor?
a specialist to tell you how long you should rest it? And
No, I
What you
actually
can
haven't
take up?
seen anyone as yet. I don't know the fear I have with going to doctors. They could tell you, rest.
no. Let me tell you now. When you win something, right? Pain is so right, but it's still there. It's just like someone takes painkillers. It kills the pain, but it doesn't necessarily heal the injury.
I was actually living off of Voltaren for the whole tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, so the rub and the tablet itself, that's what I was just taking whole tournament, just to numb the pain. But after, it was a killer. I couldn't move the ankle, anything, couldn't move. So,
I don't know. My suggestion is that you check it out, because I mean,
Yep.
for the kind of performance that you put in, in the last tournament there. All right, we can't afford to have you sitting down. You need to be on the court.
I guess my fear is just
And
hearing.
see Adrian nodding and thinking, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but there's just the fear of hearing, Kyron, you have to sit down for at least 6 weeks or something, knowing that a tournament coming. So what I do is just ice, elevate, rest. If I don't have to move, I don't. So it's just,
You do the ice treatment?
the
Do you do the ice treatment? At
Oh,
the end of game, you just throw them in a bucket of ice water?
No, actually, I get ice strapped with the wrap to my foot, and I just leave it there until it gets down into like water. But the last 2 days for the tournament, we actually had a barrel ice, and we was down there covered up. So the ice kind of helped us for the last 2 games.
Maybe I should have asked you this a little earlier. How old are you? You look like a young boy, when I say
23 years old.
23.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you
I am 25.
25. Oh yeah, you guys in the prime of your life.
Slide the question.
I'm just a couple of years.
Slide the question over there.
Huh?
Exactly.
Slide the question.
Yeah, you're just a couple of years older than you
We're in the
guys.
experience section.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, again,
And I know your parents are so. I know your parents are so proud of your achievement and so. But what about your girlfriend and so? You had to stay away from them for the tournament, I suppose.
yes, we had.
Why do you want to stay away from them? What tournament?
What?
Huh?
Pardon me?
Why you wanted to stay away from your girlfriend for the tournament?
Oh, because I needed to lock in on the tournament. Can't tie me up. No matter what you try, can't tie me up. But I wanted to lock in on the tournament, so I had to really focus on the film and the team. I'd call her every so often, make sure we talk, and but I had to lock in, focus on
The
games.
guy and you.
Oh, I don't have a girlfriend, but
And you
I
have a lot of girlfriends.
girl and friends, yeah. So that was just the case, a lot of people message me, oh, they're proud of me, so I just kind of had to put the girls at the side just till the tournament was finished. But
Okay, now he's finished what?
Oh, no,
You
it's
say you
finished.
finished. Now you finished what?
Oh, you know, celebrate. So that's what it is.
Well, what you have any other interest besides volleyball? You know what relaxes you? I know he says he tries a little golf. You said, right?
Oh no, that was it. That was when I was in the
Tennis.
States.
Oh, you want to try tennis?
Yes.
Is there any other?
I was a DJ. I'm also Eminem
When you
Music.
say DJ, what kind of DJ?
I'm also Eminem Music's official DJ, Menace. So
Yeah.
yes, that's like I probably the only my number one supporter when it comes to volleyball. He had this phrase that he would come and say, "I don't know anyone else on the team. I'm not here for anyone else on the team. I'm only here for Adrian, and that's it." I mean, but yeah, especially Soccer Monarchs around the corner, so we're really in prep, getting ready for the defense of the crowns.
So you're a menace man. You know, I'm an M2, you know.
And so
And this is the original Eminem. M. Yeah, so what is it that you think, right? That, I mean, from a player's point of view, what is it that we probably need to do moving on to the next level?
from a player's point of view,
Yeah.
I think we just have to focus on how do we get better as players, because we're not the best in ball control. We saw the games that we lost or the games that we struggled really came down to ball control. I mean, the coaches can only do so much during the game. They can tell you go left, they can tell you go right, but I mean, they can't come and pass the ball for you. I think we generally struggle throughout the whole ECVA. I mean, St. Lucia did not look bad at all, ball control wise, neither did Bermuda. But I think we generally struggle ball control, especially in Antigua. We have the athletes, we have the quote unquote, for lack of a better use of word, freaks. That we jump out of the gym. We have the tall people like Kyle, and we have the fast people like ITOs. But our ball control, including myself, is not where it should be or where we want it to be. Let me say that, where we want it to be to really, compete.
You know, I know that you know, there was some talk a little earlier about getting an outside coach. What is it you think an outside coach can do differently than what we have here? Or you know?
So I used to think that there were periods in my playing career that I said, hey, maybe it's time for me to go outside because I don't know if Austin can teach me more than what he's taught me. Because I mean, he really took me from A to probably like W. So to get to Z, maybe I need to see a coach who has seen the level, which, I mean, the coaches come in and it's like, oh, we really should have given Austin all this money. But then I went to school, and I mean, that's the first outside coach that I would have said she really, I mean, Cafe, the Brazilian coach, he did a lot for me on the beach. I didn't get to work with him indoors a lot. But, I mean, the other coaches, they did do something. They did help, but they kind of reinforced what Carrot taught, what Austin taught. So it's not, oh, they're teaching us a brand new way of, my coach in school, she taught me a lot of she added, and what she did was she did not try to take away from what he told me. So she would come to me, she'd ask me, what does your coach in Antigua say to do to you? And then she'd say, that's a great way, but also try it this way. See which way works for you. And I don't think the overseas coach, even when I played football, I don't think most of the overseas coach did it, because I mean, we brought in a lot of English coaches, and at the end of the day, Dibu taught me this, Kaja taught me the same thing, Popsy taught me the same thing, and it's like, they're coming in with all these experiences to teach us the same exact things. But I think the outside coach helps sometimes with connections for me, connections.
Okay, but looking back like a couple of years, right? Also, are there any new techniques, any new thing that has come that you think need to be passed on to players?
Well, the game has been changed so frequently through the years that
Okay.
every time you something new, by the time it's in our region and you enforce it, there's something else.
Like Samson and Apple and so.
Yeah, just move on. So
Enforce.
basically, I just try to tell the players, volleyball is the same across the world. So just do what we do and stick to what we do, and everything will just work out. Once you just stick to what to be done, play a role, stick to your form, everybody trust one another, and you can go on. Simple.
The surface there at the volleyball court that we have here at YMCA, is it different to, what is played overseas?
It's somewhat different. Some countries use that same court as well, and they have another one they use. Like we played in Cuba, a foam one that I see them use on the international stage as well. But that has been used as well across the world. But we have a new one in the port. Maybe ACB could donate some
Yeah.
funds. Help us play.
We play on wood floors in school.
The best time to get anything is when you
I
produce, when
realize.
you're winning, eh?
So we want to beg now all who donate.
Yeah. Yeah, what about you, Karen? You any other, you play any other sport, whether it's a mind game or
I play.
on the field?
Wow.
I would say I play golf but
You
golf
play
is
golf?
yeah, just for free, just to like get my mind off of stuff.
Yeah, just leave the ball that won't hit back, right?
Yeah, and a little bit of basketball, trying to get back into that as well. So, yeah, just those two things. I don't really, do anything other than work and all that other stuff. So.
No, so just saying, if you don't make it in the volleyball, I mean, would you consider basketball? I mean, you have height and
Yeah, I would consider basketball, and I also would consider golf because, I think I have a good swinging enough.
have a good swing.
Yeah, I do.
Or with your arm or with your walk? Which one is it? Because people swing when they walk.
With my arm, it's just all about technique. But when I go there, it's just freestyle.
Have you played golf before?
I've never played it before. I've never seen like a coach
Let me tell you, these guys that put a ball on one of these little
stick, peg,
the pin,
pin, yeah.
and they tell you to swing, and you miss that thing, you miss it,
Yep.
you miss it.
It's really
If you're
all
not
about
really,
technique.
if you're not steady,
But I mean, say one, say two. I think volleyball might be the most technical sport that you can find. The difference
But
between
why? I want to
the difference between I'm not sure. Let me try to figure out which camera. Okay, not this camera. The difference between you're watching my hand.
Yeah.
Watch the side of my hand. The difference between this and this
Wait, let's go again.
here
Yeah,
to here
yeah.
can be the difference between you scoring or looking like a fool.
How so?
Because it's just the technique where you hit the ball. I mean, in football, you can miss, you can hit, you can score with your shin, and you can get what you want from basically any part of your foot. In volleyball, I've learned that footwork is very key. You can have bad footwork in basketball and still be amazing. Look at Reggie Miller, Sean Marion, horrible shooting forms. When you look at the Clay Thompsons of the world, and they still get a lot of buckets, get a lot of points. In volleyball, bad technique, you hitting, you coming across your body, bad shoulders out. That's it for your shoulder. And
But now sometimes you want to spike here and it comes off here and go here and
very much so too.
that does not, yeah?
Even hitting from here, you get more power. But hitting from here, you get more accuracy, which is what you want. Accuracy over power. Because you need to score the ball. Power doesn't mean you score. Power means.
Yeah, but tell me something too. Is there, I know, it's I see some guys like they wait until the ball gets into the arm and it's like it's just like it's like lifting weight. I don't know. It's like
Set it.
right. You can't hit it. You know. But you see, it comes in and they just like throw it back over. What's the difference there? And you know, and sometimes I hear persons who have played the game for a long time saying, "Hey, they're hitting the ball incorrectly." I know when you go on, you can hit that up, but there's something about when the ball in the air and it looks like they actually take it, holding it and push it back over. What's that?
That's the set. That's what they call the volley. You volley the ball.
But if you were coaching me, right, what is it that you would tell me to do when the ball is in the air, right, and it's coming to me? You know, instead of some people hit it. Some people, you know, it looks easy, like it comes in the arm, and then they.
Well, I just tell you, for you to make it easier, tell you just when you look to your fingers, make sure they have like a triangle.
Okay.
So, and your forehead is basically in the middle of that triangle. So if the ball misses, it comes straight in your forehead.
Yeah.
So that's basically your right form right there. So if the ball misses, it just hit you right there and go right back up.
But when the ball, when exactly you push that ball back?
Right. So when you
Tell me when it hits you, hand or you
when it's just about, you slam your hands on there, nearly fully extended here. So just as it comes in, you use the same energy from the ball to just transverse it where you want, front or back, with your wrist, back and forward.
Wow.
So you don't wait till normally you see people bring it down here and then throw it all the way up. You just right here and just use the same energy to just go back or go forward.
See, you see, like, I'm a football coach, but I'm into ball mastery. I try to teach my students all the plays and all the moves that these international players use. In other words, I'm giving them the tool. They must feel comfortable. The ball must be a part of them. You know, they juggle the ball between the feet, and I throw it to them. You know, because it's the same thing. The ball is on the ground, but I watching you, but I know when I touch it how far it's gonna go. It's just like basketball. If you're coming up court, you never see the guys looking at the ball when they're bouncing it. They're bouncing it, but they know where it's gonna bounce into the arm, and they're looking differently. And the peripheral vision is actually seeing a piece of the ball, right? Are there skills in volleyball that you can, or someone just can come off the street and just have a look at the game and just say, "Oh, I can play it because I just have to hit it," and
Yeah.
or there are skills.
Oh boy, we've heard that before. Let me get this. We've been challenged by basketball players.
Yeah. Okay.
The Bujus and the Hollywoods. Hey, volleyball easy. Easy sport. You never do nothing. Just back up and run off and jump. You know, and they come up there and 1-2 times. How I manage this boy? This is a killer. So it looks easy when you get it, as with every sport, but trust me, it's very difficult. Because, for example, basketball, you could come up the court and hold a ball in your hand. Football, you could stand up on the ball for 90 minutes. You don't have to move. But volleyball, you cannot stop that ball from playing. It's a fraction of a second. Touch, touch, touch. So, very difficult to master ball control.
No. I see a position on the volleyball team of a person who like a groundhog. When I say a groundhog, someone who actually get dirty,
Yes.
dive to.
That's the libero.
What's it?
The libero.
Libero.
That's the special defensive
We
player.
call him libero. You libero in football and stuff like that. Right?
We actually call it that too. Yeah, I mean, you call it that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but is it a special person for that, or anyone can play that? Because I know that when we play a little pickup stuff, we rotate and rotate. You move from here to here, you move here, you come around, and then there's somebody. Do we have to have special skill for
Well,
that?
basically, we look for somebody that have quick,
And
reflexive.
and defensive?
Yes, a defensive mindset and have good ball control, because that person needs to play at least 80% of the ball when they come over from service, at least, you know. So you need somebody that could react quickly to those balls and have good ball control. So yeah, look for those kind of people. You don't expect Kyron to play in that role because he's 17 feet tall, just about. Not easy to get to the floor. So you need somebody that a nice average height could play that role easier. So that's where that would work out for that.
In my school, my libero is one of my.
Okay, I know the next, you winning this tournament is going to take you guys now to the next level. What do you think the cost will be to be properly be prepared
Boy, that's
to go to the next tournament? And where will the next tournament be?
the next tournament will be in Canada.
Canada?
Yes, we don't know where it's
And
yet.
how many persons would you take
Well, when
on a trip like that?
when the regulation comes out for the tournaments, then we'll know if we'll be able to carry the regular 10 or we could carry 12 as
Okay.
players. So, but we have still to wait until the regulations
I'm
come.
talking about the complete,
Well, the complete roster, 10 include coaches
right?
or 12 include coaches.
Maybe 14,
Maybe
Just
14.
maybe.
So, coaches,
15 max.
2 coaches basically.
Maybe a manager.
But it all depends on when the regulations say what we can
What
do.
level is that? What the tournament will be called?
That would be continental.
So that
I think that will include like
It-
US and stuff.
Yeah, it actually has. It's probably not probably. It is the biggest tournament in the North America area, North Central, because you have the last Continentals, the US won, and that same team finished top 5 in the Olympics. So they generally send, because some of these are looked at Olympic qualifiers, so they generally send their best players.
and when you reach this kind of level, do you get assistance from your parent body, like the World Volleyball?
Yes, they do. They do assist. Yes, they do. FIVB do assist.
Do assist?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Well, in getting you to Canada, and then you have to
Well,
try to
sometimes,
seek some kind of sponsorship or some assistance from
well,
local
sometimes
sponsors.
what they would do, they would like, for example, say they will pay for 8 of the tickets and the local association pay for the other 4. So they have a way of working it out. But I guess we'll know when that time comes.
Oh, well. Look, guys, it's been great, man. I mean, and once again, I want to congratulate you guys for the kind of performances. These are the kind of things that I like to see, you know. Never say die. You know, as a matter of fact, that is when you're supposed to play stronger, is when you're down. You can't afford to make mistakes. The same thing I tell players, you know, my players in football. You know, when you're down 1-0, that's the time that you can't make mistakes, because you need that ball in order to, you know, to equalize or to go ahead, whatever it is. You know, and to be down 2-0 and to take the other 3, man, that is special. I'm sure your associations are extremely proud of you guys, and your coaches, of course. Not you. You know, and so just want to thank you guys, man. Thanks you for sharing, you know, the experience with me here and talking sports. Awesome. I know it's on Fitzroy. Man, if you open a volleyball book, you know, and you see Fitzroy, and look again, you see Harrigan, you see Rosie and Irvin Lewis.
Yes, that's a long
And Alson Joseph. Right, guys, we're extremely proud of you, man. Proud about you, and we just simply like to say thank you for coming, as I said before, and sharing your experience with us here in Talking Sports. So we simply say on behalf of our executive producer, we've come to the end of it.
Thanks for having us, man.
You know, our executive producer, who is Taddy Arundel, who knows your father very well, because I mean, your grandfather, Muddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he used to do some umpiring there for Parish League cricket also, and for school cricket. School cricket when we at the Ministry of Sports.
First.
So again, so we say thank you guys, and on behalf of our executive producer Taddy Arundel, Orden, our technician right here, along with our sponsors, ACB Caribbean, Simply Smart Banking, our platinum sponsor, Blue Mountain Water, Cecil Charles, group of companies, Seco Pharmacy and Hutchison Limited, plumbing and electrical, along with Bransfield S. We say goodbye for now, and join us again next week Monday for another exciting episode of Talking Sports.